In this short video, we're going to talk about the basics of creating your ePortfolio on Weebly using the template that we've provided to you as a guide. If you haven't taken a look at our example template portfolio we've provided, you should probably do that now so that you can see the types of sections and pages that you should create in your portfolio. To get started, you're first going to need to create an account on Weebly. To do that, you'll need to go to Weebly.com and click on Sign Up. Once you've created an account, then you can go ahead and log in. All right. So now I'm going to walk you through this process by showing you on my screen how I started creating my ePortfolio. So once you've logged in to Weebly, you'll see a screen something like this. You probably won't have any ePortfolios or websites created here yet, but you'll have this arrow. So you'll want to go to this arrow and you'll need to click on Add Site in order to create a new site. When you select Add Site, it's first going to ask if you want to sell. They want to make sure you're not a store, so you want to click on Not Now. After that point, it's going to show you several different themes that you can choose. There are a lot of themes to choose from in all different categories, as you can see here. I suggest that you use something from the business theme area. For ours, we used the Muse Technologies example. So I'm going to go ahead and click on this Muse Technologies theme, and it's going to start creating my page. So right now, it's just giving me a preview of this theme. I'm going to go ahead and click Start Editing because I want to use this theme for my site. So now it's thinking and it's creating my site. Once it comes up, the first thing it's going to prompt me to do is to create a URL for my website. So for this ePortfolio, you're going to want to select this first option, use a subdomain of Weebly.com. Once you've selected that, you need to type in a name. It should be kind of brief, but it can be whatever you want to use, as long as it includes GFA FSE 100X. So for example, I could write in my name, Amy, ePortfolio, GFA FSE 100X. Once you've selected a name that you're happy with, you can go ahead and click on, there should be a continue button to click on to create the site. Now I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my website that I already created. So on this website, or once you've created your website, your web page, you'll have a welcome screen that looks something like this. Yours will actually look a lot like the theme that you chose. So if you chose the Muse Technologies theme that we were just looking at, for example, yours will show the page on there that says, "We are leaders in innovation." Later, you'll probably want to edit this page to welcome people to your portfolio on this home page, this first one that they'll land on. But for now, we're going to leave it alone. At this point, I want to point out something important about your portfolio. If you look up at the top right corner here, you'll see a button that says Publish. Anytime you make changes to your portfolio that you want us or anyone else to see, you're going to need to click this Publish button in order to publish your work. If you don't click Publish, your work will be saved, but no one else can see it except you. Okay, the first thing you need to do when creating your ePortfolio here is to choose a title. As you can see here, the title of mine is Amy Trowbridge's FSE 100X ePortfolio. You can choose any name you want, but it should include your name. It should probably include FSE 100X in it, so it'll probably look something similar to this. Once you have created a title, we're ready to start building your ePortfolio. First thing we want to do is add some pages. So to do that, we're going to need to click on Pages. As you can see, my ePortfolio already has several different pages included. These are the pages that you're going to want to have in your ePortfolio. They're all included in the template portfolio that we've provided as an example for you. You're going to have an About Me page, a Projects page, Skills, and Q&A. At this point, you might also have some extra pages that you're not going to want, things that were created automatically by the theme that you chose. We'll worry about deleting those later. But for now, we need to start creating some of these pages that you'll need. So first, we're going to go ahead and set up our About Me page. So to create a new page, I'm going to click on this plus button here. For our pages, we're going to go ahead and choose the standard page. First thing you want to do is enter a name. Since we're creating the About Me page, I'm going to call it About Me. For the template portfolio, we have chosen to use the no header option. This is up to you, but it just makes it simpler in the designing of your pages. You can leave the other options as they are. When you have this information entered, you can click Done, and the page will be created. When you create a new page, it will open with one section for you to edit, as you can see here. For each section you create, you can choose one of Weebly's predefined layouts to organize your content to start with and modify it to fit your needs, or you can just build your own sections by adding content pieces such as text or images and arranging them as you choose on the Build tab. For the About Me page, I'm going to build my own page and sections to demonstrate how you can create and organize your own site using structure and content elements in the Build tab. So to create my About Me page and organize the sections on it, I need to go to the Build tab. Once I'm on the Build tab, I'm going to start adding content to my About Me page. Your About Me page is going to include information about yourself, such as your background and your interests, as well as your short and long-term goals. I encourage you to also include a picture of yourself on this page. If you look at our template portfolio, you can get some idea of what this might look like. So overall, your goal will be to create a page that looks something like this. Okay, so now we need to start building it. So the first thing I'm going to do is add a picture of myself. So to do that, over here on the Build menu, you can see a variety of different options. I'm going to click on Image and drag it into this section. As you can see, it's now created a box for an image here. Once I find a picture of myself that I want to add, I will click on this box to upload the image. It's pretty simple. You can click on Upload a photo from your computer, choose one, and it'll put that photo in there. I'm going to go ahead and add a photo later, so I'll just leave that image box there for now. Now, I think I want to add a box over here on to the side of this image where I can write a brief introduction to myself or a brief welcome and tell people about myself. So to do that, I'm going to go over here and choose a text box and click and drag that next to the image. Notice how when I clicked and dragged it over to the side, it created the box next to it. If I wanted it below it, I could position it there instead. So now I have a box here and it says click here to edit. So I'm just gonna, for now, write basic information about me. I'll come back later and add the text for that. Notice here there's a bunch of different text options that you can use to customize your page. So there's colors you can choose different font styles, things like that. So feel free to play around with that and customize it to suit your needs. Okay, so now I have my images and I have a box for basic information about myself. In order to add more text to this page, I need to first create a new section. So I'm going to click and drag new section over here, and it's going to create a section for me. If you want to choose a preset layout, you can, but I'm going to go ahead and click out of that because I want to just create my own by building the elements. So this section, I actually want this section to be below these areas. So I'm going to go ahead and click on Move and move this section down. So now I've created this section where I want it to be. So in this section, I want to create a title that says background and then a text box to include background information about myself. To do that, I'm going to first click title and click and drag it over here. So I'm going to write background in here. Now I need a text box so that I can write my background information. Again, I want it next to the title. So I have, so I want to put it next to the title like that. So now I have my background information. So this is where I'm going to write some background information about myself. Great. So now I've created the background section and background title as well as a picture for myself. You would go ahead and follow that same process in order to create additional sections for your interests and your goals as well. Again, your goal is to make your About Me page look something like this and to provide enough information about yourself so that we can get to know you. Okay, so those are some of the basic elements that you can add to the sections you create on each page: text, titles, and images. But as you can see in this menu here, there are also several other items that might be useful to you as you continue to add examples of your accomplishments to your portfolio. For example, when you create a project presentation, you might want to add this slideshow element to embed your presentation slides or images within the page. If you want to include a written document, such as a final report, you can also add those by choosing the document option under Media. Here's a couple of important notes about the document option. First, the supported file types are doc, docx, or PDF. Second, it can take a while for it to upload. So once you've selected the file, it might say document converting, sorry, we can't display this document, for a few minutes. But when it's done, the document will appear. You can actually go work on something else in your portfolio or on your computer while it's converting if you want to. It does take a few minutes. As long as the editor is still open, it'll keep converting for you. Some of the other items here might be useful when you're trying to create the layout of your page. The structure items here can help you to create dividers or spacers in order to better organize how your content is laid out and how the different sections are laid out on your page. You can even use color box tools to help you improve the appearance of your ePortfolio. You might have noticed that there is no save button that will allow you to save your work. As long as you're creating standard pages in Weebly, your work will be saved automatically so that you can return to it at any time. So at this point, if you're done working on your portfolio for now, you can close it and come back to it later. But remember, if you want others to see it too, you're also going to need to click Publish here. So once you finish your About Me section, make sure you click Publish. When you click Publish, your URL for your ePortfolio website will appear here. In order to submit your ePortfolio assignment for the course, you're going to need to copy and paste this URL into your assignment in edX and click Submit. Now that you have set up your About Me section, you can move on to creating additional new pages for the other sections of your portfolio. You should refer to the template ePortfolio provided in the course to see which sections to create. You're going to have an About Me, a Projects, a Skills, and a Q&A section. Once you have all of your pages set up, you'll want to be sure to delete any of the pages you don't plan to use, such as those that were automatically created as the part of the theme you chose when creating your ePortfolio on Weebly. For example, if I go to Pages in mine here, I'll notice that I have this Services one. I don't need a Services section, so I'm going to click on the Services section, and then I'm going to click Delete. It will ask me to confirm that I want to delete this page, and then once I click Yes, it is now deleted. Okay, now you are ready to start building your ePortfolio.